And I want to start off by saying that to go into a few things. I saw the PPP came to Bartica, fully peddling all aspects of state resources. Every cent of state resources being used to mobilize. They spent more money to mobilize people for the campaign in Bartica than they did when it comes to development in Bartica. They go out there and they want to show that they're big and bad. So they spent millions of dollars to mobilize people from all the reverend communities to come and pack them up in Bartica to say, oh, look, we have people supporting us. When they did not use the very same funds to go and develop those communities, and those persons are left to suffer, and that is a fact. But you know what was really sad for me to look at? It was really sad for me to look at the former mayor of Bartica, and I'm going to address him tonight. It was very sad for me to look at the former mayor of Bartica, sitting, cowering, his head bent, depressed, as somebody stood in the form of Guilty Shearer, stood at the podium at their rally, and basically condemned every single thing that was done under his stewardship. He sat right there and said nothing. He cowered, presented himself as weak. He could not defend his own name. And I want to talk to you about that. Because that is what the PPP presents to Guyanese. They want to bring you to a state of subjection that you will have to beg behind them. Served on the town council when Gifford Marshall was the mayor of Bartica. And he can take what I say as a compliment, or he can take it as an insult. I will let him be the judge of that. When I served on that town council, we did a few things. When I served on that town council, the APNU coalition was in government. And I can tell you what was done, just in case person forgot. We had, under the APNU coalition, Bartica was declared a tongue. That is the first thing. Let us start from there. Bartica was declared a tongue under the APNU coalition. But we did not just declare Bartica a tongue. We wanted to bring development, township status to Bartica so that real development could have been felt. And I want you to remember tonight as I speak that before 2015, the People's Progressive Party Civic was in power for 23 years. The PPP was in power for 23 years before 2015. Running government, deciding on how the monies are to be spent, and they decided, deliberate decision, not to Stelling. You remember that? We started our project at the Stelling flawlessly. No work had to be redone. 5 years they came into office. 5 years, trillions of dollars spent by the PPP, and they barely scraped to finish the Stelling the other day. And after they had that piss poor finish, what did we have? Vehicles falling off the ramp. We did the Stelling. You can go, and I'm going to go through it because it's important for people to remember what we had to do. 23 years, they did nothing. 23 years, we did not get township status. 23 years, they didn't see no need to spend money on a stelling. When you go to the center ground, when you look there and you see those bleachers, you see the basketball court, you see the wall of fame, you see all of those things, you see total rehabilitation that was done. It wasn't done under the 23 years that the PP was in office. It was done in the 5 short years that the APNU coalition was in office, Bartica. Under the PPP stewardship right now, they're giving permission for parties to be had at a community center ground. That is the level or lack thereof when it comes to leadership in this country, and particularly in the township of Bartica. I heard my colleague Judy talk about the disability school, and I could tell I can talk very remind you how we got to disability school in the first place. The PP had no intention of putting a disability school here in their 23 years when they were in office. None whatsoever. I can tell you because my aunt, Teresa Brathwaite, you would know her as Cheryl. She walked every street and avenue in Bartica. She got a bill, went down the riverine areas, and she got a record and register of all the persons that had children living with disabilities. And she came back and she put her own time and effort, free of cost, to make sure that we had the facility up and running, even when we didn't have a building fit. We then move ahead and we did the building. The PPP came now. Trillions of dollars later, paint the building, and they want to cut the ribbon and say, oh, we You see, when they say all politics is local, this is what we're talking about. Nobody can come and fool us to believe that they've done anything positive for us, because they did not. If you go up 4th Avenue, as you go past the Mongrippa Arcade, you know what you're going to see on your left-hand side? You're going to see the magistrate court. 3 years the PP was in office, they had no concern about building a magistrate court in Bartica. We came into office, and in 5 short years, a magistrate court was built here. The PP came into office and went and cut a ribbon and said how they care about Bartica and the magistrate. Absolute hypocrisy. That is the PP administration. We're standing right here, and if you turn and you look at the back, you're going to see GPL there. Well, I can remind the PPP administration of their tenure in office and what they did for Bartica. We had to protest these streets back and forth because of the blackouts that we were getting all the time. I want to remind persons of the PPP administration, they were here for 23 years before 2015. We came in 2015, and in 5 short years, we had a brand new power station in Bartica. We had a brand new solar farm in Bartica. Minimum amount of money. But we had a plan for development of Bartica, and we executed with precision. And we did not have oil money, as my colleague there says. If you go down, further down the street from the magistrate court, and you go there at the bottom of 1 mile, you know what you're going to see? You're going to see a building there that housed the first ever radio station ever in Bartica. And I can talk about that here tonight. We put a radio station there and we made sure that it was managed properly. We made sure that the information that was coming to Barticians was done in a democratic way. Today, the PPP that never put a radio station in Bartica is utilizing the radio station in Bartica for strictly political means. The persons that are currently working there, I can speak for some because I know some of them. They're very open. But for the leadership that is there, they're political in nature. I offering you the moon and the stars, and I will betray you as a people in Bartica. It will never happen. There is no way that any member of the PPP could come and say, all you gotta do is sit down, be quiet, and let us condemn everything that you've done. It will never happen, because I stand with a political party that empowers people. I stand with a political party that puts people first. I stand with a political party that is concerned about the ordinary Guyanese. I stand with a political party that was the only party in after 1992 to 2015, the APNU was the only political party to bring development to Bartica, and that is the party that I'm standing with. How shameful it is for every single person that is interested in filling the pocket to sit. I want to talk to you, Barticians. Let me tell you this. The PV administration has a group of contractors that they give real contracts to. They don't concern themselves if these people got a cutlass or a wheelbarrow to the name. They would make sure that real contracts in the hundreds of millions of dollars are given to those people. And then they will come to you because they know that they have neglected you. They will come to you because they know that you are in need. They will come to you and they will give you, and they would line you up to parade you in front of a camera to say, look, we're doing something for these people who ain't got nothing. But I say this to you. You have to value yourself a little better. And that is a difference that I want to talk to you about tonight. When you see us stand here, I stand here and I have a deep sense of pride as to who I am. I know where I came from, and I am proud of who I am today. And I can tell you that when you join and you come on board with a political movement that will empower persons, you know, I have a long list of things that I wanted to go through, but I'm going to cut it short because I think I've made my point. I think I've made my point to the amount of work that we've done, not just in Bartica, but in Region 7 as a whole. Today, what we see happening in this township is nothing but atrocious. If you go to the Mongrepa player field, you will see that the Minister of Sports came, and there's an atrocity that is happening on that field right now. They have done the worst thing possible. It is not development. Barticians, let me tell you. And I want to tell you, we have persons here right now that have spoken to me about the corruption when it comes to the distribution of resources. There's a big difference when it comes to leadership.
I am Aubrey Compton Norton, presidential candidate of the Partnership for National Unity. We have the best team in this election campaign. We have the best manifesto with the plans, policies that will take you out of poverty. We will ensure that money is put into your pocket. For those reasons, we urge you to vote APNU. Put your X next to the palm. Ghana needs to grow, so the PPP must go. The only party that can give us a better and brighter future is a partnership for national unity. I urge you to put your X next to the palm and enjoy a high quality life. Thank you.
You have a group of people that care nothing about them, nothing about you but themselves. They vote as though they could you imagine it? They parade persons that have no abilities, lacks competence, and they tell you that those are the best leaders that they can find to put upon you. But I tell you this, we are voting them out on the 1st of September. We're not just voting them out in Bartica. We're voting them out in every part of this country. You know, they're very scared right now. I tell persons that people be coming around and they're doing everything in their power, not because they feel they got this. They had their final rally, but they got the final one tomorrow, not because they feel they got this. They're running around like headless chickens because they know their time is numbered. The clock is ticking. On the 1st of September, I want them to know this, that no amount of meeting and bring a t-shirt for me. Said I can't come out, but could you please stop by my house and bring a t-shirt for me? I want to say to Barticians tonight that from PPP. All the public servants here, you won't have to fear victimization. And you know what is going to happen to public servants? You will be smiling going to the bank because you're going to be getting a 35% increase in your wages and salaries. We are going to be doing things that's beneficial to you. We're going to make sure that you're not paying any tax on it because the income tax is not going to be applicable if you're making less than $400,000 a month. We're going to make sure that we take care of our senior citizens. Let me tell you something, young people. Fool a lot of people, but when it comes to the senior citizens, they can't be fooled. The senior citizens cannot be fooled. They know what they went through under the PPP in Bartica. Good the education system is in Bartica. I can tell you this. I went to the Bartica Secondary School. That's the school I went to. Today, the Bartica Secondary School is at a level that no parent don't want to send their child. The Bartica Secondary School is not going up. They have the worst management at that school, and that is a fact. Children going and then persons want to stand here and speak about how good education is. Let me tell you about education. We left the matriculation rate. You know what's the matriculation rate? All the children who pass in maths and English. 5 subjects including maths and English. We left that at 49%. The PPP came in, spent triple the amount of money we spent on education and got it down to 26%. That is the incompetence of the people, and they want to come to Bartica and tell you that you must throw on a red jersey and support them. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. How can you even think about supporting a party that you know for certain your children will not be safe under? How can you think about empowering people that only wants to make sure that you are lesser? Because young people need homes. The people went into office, and I want to talk to you about this. I could touch on it, but there's some very important things. The people went into office in 2020, and they moved the age from 18 to 21 years. When we were in office, an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, 20-year-old could have gone in and applied for a house lot because you're working, you're getting your own families. You could have applied for a house lot. The PPP went in office, and because they don't want a big backlog, they moved the age up to 21. We are saying to you tonight, young people, that age will go right back to 18 years. And not only will it go back, we will make sure that everyone that is earning less than $400,000 a month, you are going to be getting a free house lot. But it's not going to stop there. We will make sure that we have rent-to-own projects throughout the length and breadth of this country. And Bartica, you will see thousands of homes being put up in this region in which you will benefit as young people. You know why the rent-to-own is resonating so much? You know why it's resonating so much? Because when you go and you read the billboards and you see persons have, the PPP have some billboards right now, they said, promise delivered, 50,000 house lots. That's what they have on the billboards. They have paid millions of dollars of your money to put up a billboard of lies. If you were to go to the budget, and I want to speak truth to you tonight, if you were to go to the budget and you read on the housing, I can direct you all right now. Go to the Ministry of Finance page. Check budget speeches, housing. And you go there, you know what you're going to see? When they go and they say they distributed 50,000 house lots, then there's go on the right small print that, oh, we give out less than 10,000 land titles. Do you understand that? You do not own a house lot if you don't have a document to say that that is yours. They have given out, in actuality, less than 10,000, and that is an important thing for you to note. Because we were in office, we gave out more than 7,000, and everybody had documentation for it. You own that. The PPP is master of lies and master of deception. These are things that we have to address, but we are saying that their time is up. We are saying that it is now your time as Guyanese to benefit from the resources of this country. We are saying that no more will the PPP have a hold on you. No more would you have to be afraid to come out and support who you want to support. You will be empowered as a people. Barticians, I can tell you this. I can see the long lines that goes to the banks here. I know of the thousands of persons that try in this region to get a loan to do business. I know the red tapes that you face. And I know that when their friends go, they just roll out the red carpet for them to do what they want. But I tell you tonight that time is up, because now from the 2nd of September, when you go out and you put your X next to the palm, you be empowering yourselves for the first time ever in the history for Barticians to go out to the banks. You are going to be going to a development bank, and you are going to be getting loans to develop yourselves with businesses, and you will be paying 0 interest. We will be removing those red tapes, and we will be making it easier for you, because that's what a government does when it is people-centered in its policy development. This is what we're committing to our people. I challenge anyone. I can tell you this, Mr. Norton went out and he went to his press conference and he rolled out these policies. He said he's going to have 0 interest. 2 weeks after, Air Finale coming up like the copycat he is, oh, we're going to have a development bank. 3 weeks after that, Mohammed's coming up, we're going to have a development bank. Let us be wise as a people. If they could not come up with these policies on their own in the first place, how can you even trust them to carry through with it after? We conceptualized it. We made sure that we did everything necessary. So when this is rolled out, come the 2nd of September, ordinary Guyanese are going to benefit. And I want to talk to the minors. I can tell you this. The APNU coalition is the only political movement in Guyana that presented a manifesto that has in it that we are going to be extending the local content laws to cater to mining and forestry. Putting local content to mining. You must know that is because the miners now go into them and say, how y'all make the APNU planning for us and y'all not planning for us? And I say to the miners tonight that there was no time ever in the history of this country that the PPP administration ever cared for small miners in Guyana, and they're not going to start now. Bartica was shut down when the PPP was in office. You remember that? You remember when the entire Bartica was shut down? We went yellow. That was the color of the t-shirts. Y'all remember that? Because the PPP administration never cared for minors. Never once, and they're not going to start now. I can tell you this, and I can tell my colleagues that are in the mining field. When I say that we have presented the best policies to miners, I mean it. When it comes to making sure that you have access to lands, the APNU is the only administration that is going to put that in place. When it comes to making sure that you are not treated unjustly when big miners come in, the PPP friends and family and favorites coming in, pushing you on side. How can you then go and think that they'll have the slightest consideration for you as minors? They bring in the people that shall suppress you, take bread off of your table from your children. We are the only administration. We did it before, and now we will continue to do it. We will make sure that minors are catered for. We want to make sure that small minors have resources to invest back into their business. We want to see you move from a lower level to a higher level. We want to make sure that at the end of it, you are empowered to do great things. And as a small miner, you don't always have to stay a small miner. You should be catered for by a government. And the PPP administration will never, ever, 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 ever care for you. Anybody that think bringing two little Chinese engine and giving it to miners empowerment, they had not screwed on correctly. These are things that we've dealt with as a community. We understand the challenges, and I can say to you, if you go to our manifesto, you'll see it spelled out. We have a solid plan, and we're going to make sure that you're catered for the business people here that have their shops. They know that before, when you have a big mining company coming into the region, the stocks from here is being purchased to take up there. Not now. You know what happening now? The legislation don't cover that, so the people buying it elsewhere and the shops here are suffering. We are going to make sure that once a large company comes into your community, they will have to adhere to local content legislation so that you, the people, will be benefiting from it. The shop owners, the persons providing transportation, all of those people. We will make sure we give tax incentives and all of that because we care about our miners. We just don't come and talk things. I have given, and I can proudly say that during my time, even in the opposition benches in Parliament, during my time from 2020 to 2025, I have given tremendous support to every single person that said they are representing minors. Every single person. I have given that support. And I can tell you now that when I see the PPP go into mining areas, I say, shame on anybody that knows they are no good for the mining community and now want to take them there to get votes. Because after they go there, the 1st of September pass, miners not seeing them back. I can attest to that. I understand how the PPP operates. But we are not going to concern ourselves with what they did anymore. Because we're only going to concern ourselves with what is going to be happening in September. I tell you this, Barticians and everyone online listening. We need to get out to the polls and we need to line up in front of those polling stations since 5:30 in the morning. We need to go out there. We need to get our spouse, our children, our parents, whomever. And we need all to go out and line up since 5:30 in the morning. We want to make sure that our votes are cast early. You know why we have to do that? Because when you finish casting your vote on the 1st of September, you have got to become a watchman for the skullduggery that they want to push. We have got to start making sure that you plan from now. Make sure you cook your children breakfast from the night before. When you head to the polls on the 1st, you're not just heading to vote, because when you are done voting, you make sure that you go check, my neighbor vote yet, my cousin vote yet, my auntie vote yet. We got to bring out the support to make sure that everyone is voting on the 1st to get rid of the corrupt, incompetent PPP. We've got to make sure that we tell people, you see this vote splitting thing? I say it to Barticians and I say it to everyone looking online tonight. We have had every scenario in this country before. We've had a coalition government. We've had a case in which the PPP was in a minority government. We've had all scenarios before. And I can tell you this. What were they able to do as a member of parliament sitting in opposition benches when the PPP was in a minority government? You ask them when somebody came and knocked on their door and said, I don't have anything for my children to eat. You ask them what they could have done sitting in the opposition benches. And you know what they would say? Absolutely nothing. So don't let nobody come to you now and tell you that, oh, it's okay to vote for another party. We have got to unite our voices. We've got to unite our votes. We have got to make sure that when we head out to the polls, the only political party that we will be voting for is the APNU that is represented by the PAM. Because it is the only political party that can remove the PPP out of office. So you're voting for the PAM at the top, and you're voting for the PAM at the bottom. You're voting 2 times. You're making sure that when you're done, you're coming out back and watching to make sure no skullduggery and passing in your community. Bartica, I know we have the best when it comes to persons to watch the box for us. And we will make sure that no nonsense is happening come the 1st of September. So I invite you all to make sure that you are part of this movement, because it is the only movement that will empower you. It is the only movement that will empower your children, make sure that they're safe. It is the only movement that is catering to the business community. It is the only movement that will make sure that the ordinary Guyanese grow in strength, from strength to strength, so that you will be empowered at a level that you will be able to stand proudly and say, I am a true, proud Guyanese living in an oil-rich economy, and my life is going to be reflective of the wealth of this nation. We will be putting the money back into your pocket. And I say this to you tonight, no one else is going to do it. This is the only we're voting for the APNU, and we are going to show this country we mean business come election day. This is not about a hype. We're not following a hype. Hype don't win elections. Hype don't win government. Hype can't govern a country. We will make sure that we mobilize and organize. So the 1st of September, the PPP will be out of office and you will be empowered as a people. So Barticians, I thank you for listening here tonight. And I can tell you, we are going to be taking this country by storm, from strength to strength. It is the only way for us to go. You know, when people say when you're at the absolute bottom, there's only one way to go? That's where we are. The PPP has dragged us down to the bottom. So the only place for us to go now is up. And up we shall go. We will rise up as a people. We will rise up and we will raise our voices, because that is the importance that you have in this country. Your voice is important. Your children are important. So let us go out there and vote with distinction for the APNU on the 1st of September. I thank you.
Bartica! Bartica! Well, that moment has come, Bartica. We have been waiting for. square miles, 10 regions. The man who is going to be the next executive president of Guyana. Ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Mr. Aubrey Compton Norton.
Bartica, good evening. We are engaged in the most important election in this country. We are living in a time when the government's actions are resulting in people being in poverty. We are living at a time when there are resources to get us out of poverty, but the government fails to put the resources in the hands of the people of this country. I want to say to you this evening that our sole purpose is to get people out of poverty. We have a number of measures we will take to ensure people come out of poverty. Made it very clear that it is critical to house Guyanese. And so we have said that any Guyanese 18 years and above who doesn't own a house will be given a free house lot. We are going to give free house lots because we believe there is the land, we believe there are the resources, and we believe Guyana needs to serve its people. The second thing I want to say to you is that we believe that Guyanese working for $400,000 and less should not be paying income tax. And we will ensure that happens. It's really ridiculous for foreign companies not to pay millions of dollars in income tax, but we burden the small man with income tax. So we're saying anybody working for less than $400,000 a month will not pay income tax. We're also saying to you that very important to the development of you and this country is the education system. We have to ensure that we have an educated population. You can have the world of money, but if you don't have the people with the competence to deliver, we will end up in problems. And so our intention is to put resources to ensure we have an educated society. We have said that we will ensure every child gets 2 hot meals. Poverty, we intend to do everything to reduce the cost of living. We want to see our children in school. It is for that reason we say we will establish a national schools transportation system so that our children can get to school. There's no sense in we have free education, but a child can't go to school. And I want to say this to you. Let us not be carried away by the nonsense the PPP got on the billboards. They have on one billboard, free university given by the PPP. Let me remind you, this government came to power and met free university education since 1976. And it is this government that took away free education at the university level. And so when they say they are bringing it back now, it is not a promise delivered. is they rectifying the wrong they did. And so we are saying to you, we are going to focus significantly on education. We intend to give every child 120,000 a year, for them to be in school, 60,000 half year. Because we believe that the focus must be on our children. We have to focus on our youth. We will seek to put in every region a technical and vocational training center so that those children who do not achieve academically can have technical training so that they can work and improve themselves. It is no sense having an oil and gas economy, and then when the work comes, it has to go to foreigners. We have to prepare the young people in this country to do the jobs that will emerge. And so that is why country is the PPP government of 2020 to 2025. All the ministers, or most of them, came in poverty and will be leaving as billionaires because they will leave September 1st. I am confident we are going to win these elections. I am confident that we are going to beat the People's Progressive Party. And I'm confident of that because even PPP supporters feel alienated, left out in this process. And so we are well aware that they're in crisis mode. You got to be in crisis mode to believe that if you put a flag on every post or 3 flags on every post, you're going to win an election. That is crisis. It's a waste of our resources. I believe if you go in Jack their house, you might find 2 flags on your head. The men even put flag in the background. It's an indication that they plan voting for them. But the point is, we mustn't be carried away by flags. Flags don't vote. We are saying to you, we have the best policies to take people out of poverty. And that is our focus. We want to reduce corruption. They like to ask when I say we will do these things, where we will get the money from. We involved in. There is at least 30% kickback. You could only get contract if you wear PPP jersey, if you bribe PPP people. Our country should not be like that. Our constitution caters for 25% of the contracts to go to small contractors. We're saying to you that the next APNU government will ensure that 25% of those contracts go to small contractors. We're going to train young people so that they can deliver quality infrastructure. There's no sense, except for corruption, in building a road, and by the time you finish building the road going. This government's whole focus is on corruption. It doesn't have the interests of the people at heart. They put on their billboards, we build 12 new hospitals, as if a hospital is just a building. A hospital is not just a building. A hospital is a building that has doctors, nurses, other medical practitioners, equipment, and drugs. And these things where they put in there don't have that. A few days ago, they opened the one at Lima in the Essequibo Coast. And a person went there. And what happened? They had no oxygen and the person died. What is the sense in telling me you have $1 billion hospital? Medical services, we mean there will be qualified doctors, there will be nurses, there will be equipment, there will be drugs. This government is so corrupt that the drugs are taken from state institutions, given to private pharmacies or sold to private pharmacies. And then people have got to go there and buy what in fact is their own. That is the reality. And we must understand what corruption does to a country. When a country is extremely corrupt, as Guyana is, it means the money that should go to improve your life is going in the pockets of individuals. And so we are saying to you, we want to put the resources in your pocket. We want to see a police force that enforces the law and enforces it in a fair fashion. It is unacceptable for the rich to be does an injustice to the small. The police also covers it up. And so what we are saying to you is that we need a system that is just. We need a police force that is interested in maintaining law and Adriana Young. We owe it to her. We owe it to her to get to the bottom of this issue. The chips must fall where they may. My friends, we have to pay careful attention to young people in this country. And we're saying one of the things we will do for the youth is to put them into business, small business, micro business. We want more young people who have their own businesses and beginning to employ people. A country needs small and medium-sized businesses to develop. We also said we will give limited gold to young people. It must not be a situation where only the wealthy can mine gold and the youth who is just out of school must be left on its own. And we intend to have a just system in the mining sector. Guyana cannot rely on gas and oil alone. We have to take the resources from oil and gas and invest it in other sectors, especially agriculture. I've made it very clear that we want to see every region has a proper agricultural program. We intend to put young people in aquaponics so that they can produce the agricultural produce we need so that people can buy it. The cost of living will continue to go up if we do not increase our agricultural production so that there are adequate agricultural people to purchase. And so you can look forward to that. But we are also aware that once we get that production going, we can overproduce. And therefore, we'll have to have refrigerating capacity to store it. And side by side with agriculture, we have to develop the agro-processing sector so that we can process those products. I remember the days as a boy when Guyana produced pineapple chunks in a tin. We produced orange juice. And so we have got as much as we can find. And if when you read our manifesto, you will see an entire section dealing with those. So what I want to say to you this evening is that when you vote in these elections, you are voting to rid this country of poverty. When you vote in these elections, you are voting to ensure that you can live a comfortable life. When you vote in these elections and you vote for the APNU, you are voting for the future of yourself and your children. 5 more years of the PPP and we all dead. And so we have a few days left. And I want to say this to all. We need to go out there and speak to people and encourage them to vote for the APNU. We have the best team. We have the best team. I have no doubt. There is no other political party that has manifesto concluded that we have a good manifesto. And I say this to you. I say this to you. You notice we don't come to cuss out. We come to tell you what we can do for the people. We just allow Barrett every Thursday for lift up his frack and cuss. But we come to say to you, we are offering you a better life. I want to urge you to put your X next to the palm. I want to urge you to vote for the APNU. And I want to conclude by saying this to you. If Guyana is to grow, the PPP must go. Thank you and have a good evening.
You're safe with up. You want real change? What you waiting on? Time for vote clean, vote wise, vote strong. Vote now, vote now, vote. Put it by the palm if you serious, vote your life. Vote now, vote now, vote. APNU the permission, they take your future right. Vote now, vote now, vote. Don't leave it for later, do it clean and bright. Vote now, vote now, vote.
I am Aubrey Compton Norton, presidential candidate of their Partnership for National Unity. We have the best team in this election campaign. We have the best manifesto with the plans, policies that will take you out of poverty. We will ensure that money is put into your pocket. For those reasons, we urge you to vote APNU. Put your X next to the palm. Ghana needs to grow, so the PPP must go. The only party that can give us a better and brighter future is a partnership for national unity. I urge you to put your X next to the palm and enjoy a high quality life. Thank you.
People want to know how to vote. People want to know how to vote. You understand me? Look carefully. Where you put the X. Right there. Right at the palm. You get your ballot box. You go to the ballot, you go to the booth. You go in the booth, collect your ballot, and you go and you watch all the candidates. And you go and you put your X right there at the palm. Right there! So you know how to vote now. Right at the palm.
Yes. You want to tell me all these years, Mohammed and his father and all of them is a part of PPP that had gone at the PPP office, Freedom House on Rob Street, protecting the PPP from the black people and PNC. And all the time, you there in there, you never see that they ill-treating black people, they killing out black people. You never see this corruption within this party. All the time, you, your family, your uncle, your father, your sister, your mother, everybody supporting this party. Y'all never see that this party is corrupt. Never at no point in time until sanctions start raining down upon you and you expect them to cover you, and they did not cover you. They took away all your gold and diamond license and your business license, your cambio license, and you get upset. And then you started to decide that, you know what, I can run for election to get rid of the sanction, and I can run for election to get back at the people.
PPP will take care of you from erection to resurrection. A quick one for you. And the last time I said that, somebody came up to me and said, man, you little bias. Erection is a man thing. What happened to the women? So I got a woman thing for you. And hear me, from the moment she slime up till you get caught up, we can take care of you. Thank you. Thank you.
I am Aubrey Compton Norton, presidential candidate of the Partnership for National Unity. We have the best team in this election campaign. We have the best manifesto with the plans, policies that will take you out of poverty. We will ensure that money is put into your pocket. For those reasons, we urge you to vote APNU. Put your X next to the palm. Ghana needs to grow, so the PPP must go. The only party that can give us a better and brighter future is a partnership for national unity. I urge you to put your X next to the palm and enjoy a high quality life. Thank you.
People want to know how to vote. People want to know how to vote. You understand me? Look carefully. Where you put the X. Right there. Right at the palm. You get your ballot box. You go to the ballot, you go to the booth. You go in the booth, collect your ballot, and you go and you watch all the candidates. And you go and you put your X right there at the palm. Right there! So you know how to vote now. Right at the palm.
Yes. You want to tell me all these years, Mohammed and his father and all of them is a part of PPP that had gone at the PPP office, Freedom House on Rob Street, protecting the PPP from the black people and PNC. And all the time you there in there, you never see that they ill-treating black people, they killing out black people. You never see this corruption within this party. All the time you, your family, your uncle, your father, your sister, your mother, everybody supporting this party. Y'all never see that this party is corrupt. Never at no point in time until sanctions start raining down upon you and you expect them to cover you, and they did not cover you. They took away all your gold and diamond license and your business license, your cambio license, and you get upset. And then you started to decide that, you know what, I can run for election to get rid of the sanction, and I can run for election to get back at the people. Yes. You want to tell me all these years, Mohammed and his father and all of them is a part of PPP that had gone at the PPP office, Freedom House on Rob Street, protecting the PPP from the black people and PNC. And all the time you there in there, you never see that they ill-treating black people, they killing out black people. You never see this corruption within this party. All the time you, your family, your uncle, your father, your sister, your mother, everybody supporting this party. Y'all never see that this party is corrupt. Never at no point in time until sanctions start raining down upon you and you expect them to cover you, and they did not cover you. They took away all your gold and diamond license and your business license, your cambio license, and you get upset. And then you started to decide that, you know what, I can run for election to get rid of the sanction, and I can run for election to get back at the people. I am Aubrey Compton Norton, presidential candidate of the Partnership for National Unity. We have the best team in this election campaign. We have the best manifesto with the plans, policies that will take you out of poverty. We will ensure that money is put into your pocket. For those reasons, we urge you to vote APNU. Put your X next to the palm. Ghana needs to grow, so the PPP must go. The only party that can give us a better and brighter future is a partnership for national unity. I urge you to put your X next to the palm and enjoy a high quality life. Thank you.